Okay, hey everyone. It is March the 18th. It's the day after St. Patrick's Day. Used to be a fun day when I was much younger. Hard to know what exactly St. Patrick's Day really celebrates, right? The driving of the snakes out of Ireland. What exactly were the snakes that were driven out? Is this actually a good day or a bad day? Anyway, short little update for everybody. The quiet time has been good, actually. And I've been doing a lot of one of the things I've been doing in my quiet time is I have been writing out by hand various Gnostic scriptures. I got myself a very nice leather book, as you can see, and I've been writing by hand inside of it some of the key Gnostic texts from the Nag Hammadi, and I highly recommend writing things out by hand. Reading is one thing, but to actually write out a text by hand takes you into a deeper level of really contemplating it and feeling the text a lot more. So I highly recommend if you've got some time in a text that you really like, write it out by hand. It's been really, really interesting. What can I say? There has been an increase in the what's the word I can use? Certainly we'll call it negative energy being thrown at anybody who is discussing these topics. And this isn't just me that I've seen these sort of really crazy things being said about on the internet. A whole lot of people who are in this community are getting a lot of hits. And the reason for making the video is I bumped into a video that was done on another channel. I don't want to say which video it was. It was, a video. One of the people who've interviewed me recently, a month or two ago, had a video on this topic, but something else. And there were so many really nice comments that appeared personally about me in the video, and that were just very positive in general. Finally getting sunlight. It's been like a week of snow, so this is fun. And so symbolically, yeah, the light shines on me now. And it was really nice to be, of course, to in the midst of a lot of crazy stuff being written about you. It's nice to hear support and people having good things to say about you and the topic. It's more important that we're seeing that, or at least I'm seeing that. So many people are really understanding this concept of what this reality is. And certainly the last 3 years, I think, have helped a lot of people to really make some questions, because the last 3 years have been so obviously insane. The world has shown itself to be so crazy that all you have to do is put a little effort into the thought process, and you chop off a lot of possibilities instantly of what this world is. It's just instantly gone. And so I just want to say thanks. That it was nice to see that. It was very helpful, just as a energetic strengthening, you might say. And I recommend doing this for other channels and other people that are valuable to you or that you really enjoy. Just every once in a while, just drop somewhere and just send them a nice comment. Just it helps us sometimes, like everybody. It helps everybody to feel like your work is being valued, and that people recognize the time that goes into all of this sharing is appreciated. The system is also very concerned with this material, and I've noticed that because I've sort of kept my eye on things while I've been on my break here, that it's starting to trot out a lot of what we might call experts, people with supposedly knowledge in this field, coming to explain reality to you in very standard, simplified, feel-good, semi-logical ways. That if you just took it instantly, if you just took what they said immediately on an emotional scale, it would sound somewhat okay, and then you could feel better. Oh yeah, this isn't a terrible place. Everything is fine here. Okay, because here's a logical explanation. And of course, a lot of the comments are saying that if you're suffering, it's your fault. It's your fault. That's one of the dangerous messages that come out of this. But it's when I've looked into any of these messages, it doesn't take long to just, with a little bit of common sense and a little bit of logical thought, to see through what they're trying to do, which is try to get you to stop thinking about these subjects. And the other is, if you notice, the people who often are presented as these experts, they don't have trauma in their life. You can just see it. You can see it in their face. They've really suffered no trauma. They've had this for whatever reason, they've had this very smooth existence. And you can't come to a subject like this. You can't dig into Gnostic Cathar ideas if you've had a smooth, easy existence with a lot of money and a nice home and a whole bunch of nice cars, and you can travel wherever you want. Everything is wonderful and nothing bad happens to you. There's no way you need the trauma. You need to have had the pain to have had to start asking questions of what suffering really is in this reality. If you haven't really suffered, you don't know what it is. So you can't ask questions of how it exists, where it originates from. And that's one of the powerful tools that you have out, because if you're watching my channel, the odds are 90% of the people paying attention to what I'm saying and what's in my books, you've got trauma in your life, like real, honest trauma, not what these other people are trying to pretend trauma is. You've had real trauma, very difficult. So we want to make sure that we use that. We want to take this painful part of our past, not to get rid of it, not to hide from it, not to be in denial of it, not to excuse it away, not to think it's our fault, that somehow there's some karmic God punishing us for something from 20 lifetimes ago. That's obviously ridiculous. We want to use that trauma for our own transformation, for our own movement, for our own understanding, to clearly see where we are, where we're going to go from it. I don't have all the answers. My book doesn't have all the answers. My book is just a little foundation of thought questioning. There's nothing in there that anybody should take as certainly a kind of gospel or any kind of, like, I know for sure what I'm talking about. All I have is the experiences I've shared, and a few others that are coming at this quite honestly. We're sharing what we know, and we're sharing our possibilities with you, for you to put it together with your own experience and your own background and the understanding of your own life. Things that have gone well, things that have not gone well, things that have been happy, things that have been suffering, and to, in a sense, use those moments of trauma to give us the energetic fuel to exit the matrix. Right? That's what the whole point of it is. If you get to the point where you believe you are likely trapped in some form of energetic confinement, then you need to use some of that energy to break the confinement. Anything else is just a waste of time. And it's interesting how to put it. A lot of the people you're hearing presenting, not attacked, what's the word I would use? Attempting to downplay this message, are saying the exact words the system would say. The words you would expect the system to say is how to try to keep the sheep in the pen is exactly what you're hearing from these people. So it's very, very interesting to watch what's coming from the system now, because the system is breaking down, right? The system is breaking down one way or another. It's all blowing up. Now, of course, the system is producing a new system, which they think will be an even better confinement prison pen. But to go from one to another, it's got to break down the old to build the new. And we're right in that break point, right in the point where one's breaking down, but the other one's not fully built yet. We're in this middle space. And that's a great doorway because we're not fully lurched into one and we're not fully in the other yet. You're in this middle ground space and you can use that to get the energy you need to propel yourself out. And one of the things I've been looking into more and more, I'm doing some other writing in this process. I'm writing some different subjects. But interestingly, at the heart of those subjects is the masculine feminine interplay and the importance of that polarity, that the polarity is important energetically. And if you break either of those sides, or as is happening, both of those sides are being broken down, you're breaking down the polarity and you're breaking down the energy structure. So I'm bringing all of that into the new writing that's happening because that polarity is an important part of um, what the Gnostics and Cathars had to say. If you really look into Grail mythology and what's in that, all of that is really, really important. So there's a lot of stuff I'm doing sort of behind the scenes and quietly, and yeah, I just wanted to come out and just say thank you for, even though the comments weren't on any of my own videos, it was nice to see them in a couple other places when I bumped around, and it's appreciated. And don't worry, I'm fine. I got no, I can handle anything that comes out there, and but it's again for all of us who are sharing very difficult material and obviously something that the system doesn't want talked about. It's nice every so often if you're watching some other channels and you're appreciating what they're doing, you're appreciating what they're putting out for you, just make a small comment to say thanks. They will appreciate it, I guarantee you. Beyond that, yeah, I'll go back to my continued writing. I've got some new texts I'm going to put in this week. Continued inner silence work. A couple of books that I'm working on that I'm slowly digging into. And of course, watching the ever changing, bizarre world situation. And in a couple of weeks at the end of the month, I'll come back with a much more sort of longer video and give you more detail on where I think I'm going to head with things or not head with things and discuss where the dream is at that point. I'll post a few more chapters of Exit the Cave this week, or middle to the end of the week. I'll post a few more chapters, and the same the week after. And just wanted to come out and just say hello, let you know things are pretty much okay. Always appreciate your support, comments, and reminder to do the same with others that you think are of value to. That's the best way to keep us energetically motivated to keep doing this. So all the best, guys. Cheers.